Start with exercise 3, analyzing security configuration baseline using Microsoft Security Compliance Toolkit in Windows. So in this lab, we are going to use a tool called MSCT, Microsoft Security Compliance Toolkit, to analyze and compare the current group policy setting of a Windows Server system against Microsoft's recommended security baseline. Now, this helps us to identify policy conflicts and improve system hardening. This exercise is part of the lab Endpoint Security Windows system. Just make sure that your smooth wall firewall is turned on. It is on. It is already in the login page, so we don't have to worry. So I'm going to skip the first 4 steps. Now, if it is not, just follow the steps. Enter the password, press the tab key 2 times, and click on Done. Moving on, step number 5 is go to the domain controller, and we need to press Control Alt Delete to log in. And then enter your password for administrator as password. And press the enter key. And if there is a window for network connection, just go ahead and click on it. We don't have anything. They want us to navigate to this location. So how do I navigate to this location? I'm going to open up a file explorer. In the address bar, I will delete everything, and I'm going to click on this and press enter. So there is the file. I'm going to go ahead and right click. When I right click, there is this opening files might be harmful. That's okay. Click on OK. And then click on extract here. So now I'm going to right click and copy the folder, and then I'm going to go to C drive, and I'm going to paste it here. Now they also give you an option to download it directly from the internet, but I would recommend just using the file here. Now let's open up the folder MSCT, and inside that folder there is a policy analyzer. We're going to extract to policy analyzer folder. So the file has been extracted. Now in a lab environment, we are using a Windows Server 2022. So therefore we need to use Windows 10 1809 and Windows Server 2019's security baseline GPO. Now, if you don't know which GPO to use in your production environment, it's always a good practice to go to the Microsoft website and check. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and extract that particular folder. Okay, so now we have exported the GPO policies to compare. So let's open up the policy analyzer. So the folder, and there should be an application called policyanalyzer.exe. Let's go ahead and double click on Policy Analyzer application. Double click on it. So this is the analyzer. I'm going to click on the Add button. And then I am going to go ahead and add the file. So File, Add Files from GPO. Now we did create the Windows 10 folder under MSCT. So here I'm going to go to the Windows 10 folder. There is a folder called GPOs. Double click on it. Let's go ahead and select folder, which is basically the GPO. So we are going to click on GPO, and you can click on select folder, or you can double click on GPO. You select on select folder. It still selects the same folder. Okay. So I have selected that. I'm going to go ahead and click on import. So now I need to go ahead and save this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type Microsoft baseline for Windows Server 2022. Microsoft security baseline for Win Server 22 and click on save. I'm saving it under Policy Analyzer folder. Okay. And it is under the documents. So just know where you're saving it. Okay. Click on save. So step number 20 is done. just going to maximize this window so we can see all the buttons. But if you notice, the buttons are slightly cut off. I have changed the resolution of this machine to 1280 times 720, but that does not seem to make any difference. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View/Compare. So here, if you notice, they have done a comparison between the current GPUs and the Microsoft recommended GPUs. Okay, so that activity has been completed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and filter this a little bit so it's easier for us to read. Let's go ahead and view only conflicts. So there are 4 policies that are in conflict. So I'm going to select one template so you can read about what it is. Okay, you can select your policy which has a conflict, and you can select read about that information and see if this is something you need to fix it, or is it based on your requirement you kept it that way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this window, and I'm going to close all the other windows that I have. And that brings us an end to this particular lab exercise 3, analyzing security configuration baseline using Microsoft Security Compliance Tool. Now let's answer the question. Identify the version of Windows 10 used in the lab. And if you notice, it was Windows 10 version 1809. Let's click on score, and that is right. That's end of this lab. Thank you.